Hey guys, Shot Midget here. So I've got a really cool gun to do a video on. This is the GMP MOTS M4 or Multi-Objective Training System. It says that on the upper receiver, so you know that's what it stands for. Gosh dang it, as soon as I start this, there's already a bee. Alright, sorry for that delay. I'm just going to do it over here because there's bees all over by that bush, and I don't want stung. I actually know him personally. His name's Isaac. It is a Valken V12 engine. Inside of a GMP MOTS M4. It used to be like the CQB where the barrel stopped here, but obviously his suppressor wouldn't fit underneath this rail, so I put a longer barrel on here so he could fit his creamy filled banana on there. So we'll start from the back. It's got the stock GMP stock. Of course, there is a battery, a JST battery in here. It is a 350 milliamp JST. There is an Ambi QD sling mount right there. No need to add that. It came with that. You have a GMP pistol grip. It is kind of like the Tango Down style. Upper and lower receiver are metal. They are kind of the billet style on a real AR, so it's really, really unique, very thick. You have an Ambi mag catch right here. You have the fake bolt lock, charging handle. You have plastic sights. They are like Troy replicas. I love those type of sights, and I'm pretty sure those are GMP. I'm pretty sure they came on here. Got the dust cover here, which is GMP fashion. It doesn't shut. Got some trademarks there. I love the Skull Frog trademarks. Of course, we got the GMP MOTS rail system. I believe it's like 10 inches or so. It's got a monolithic rail on the top. It's got a rail on the bottom here, and then it's got a segment here. So here's the segment, rail segment with the AFG. I'm not sure if it's an AFG 1 or 2. I don't know the difference. It's just size, but I'm not sure how to tell. So you can hold it like this, or you can put your arm all the way out here, however you want. Magwell grip it. It's airsoft, do whatever you want. It is kind of cool how there is a QD mount right here. You can put it up here. Well, I'm not sure if it's going to fit. Yeah, it fits. So he could do a 2-point if he wanted, there and there. It's really close together, though. It is a 14.5 inch outer barrel. It is a classic Army barrel. It has a Big Dragon flash hider on here. AAC style. I actually gave him mine. I ordered a new one so he can get out and play next weekend. And I'll just wait for mine because I don't use my suppressor all that much. I prefer my amp. Unless I'm using full auto, and then people like to complain, moan and complain. So with the suppressor, people don't hear it as much and you don't get much complaints. It is foam filled, and it's a G&G suppressor right there. Pretty cool. Looks nice without it. Looks cool with it too. So I'll shoot it without it at first, at least to chrono, and then we'll go ahead and shoot it, see how it sounds with the suppressor on there. As far as internals, it's got a Pro 1 hop up. It's got a Lonex 50-degree bucking because the Crytek one that was in here was dookie. It has a G&G stock inner barrel. As far as the engine, it's got the Valken grip, or not grip connect, but what do they call this? Braided line or whatever. It hooks up into here. I don't prefer these. I prefer the grip connect. Also, it has a black nozzle that's been bored out to about the diameter of a red nozzle. It's got the Polar Star Fusion engine purple poppet. So the purple poppet is the same as the red poppet. It's also pre-shimmed. So it's pre-shimmed. So it's even going to be less air volume than the red poppet, which is what I use. I put in a lot of my friends' guns. This one is even lower volume. So you're really lowering the volume on this gun. In fact, at 120 PSI, which is really the max operating pressure of this, it shoots like 395. So right at that, pretty much that 400 feet per second limit. So at the limit of the engine, it only shoots like 400, which is your limit of the field. So I set the regulator to 110 PSI, and it shoots about 370. We'll go ahead and chrono it. I did shoot it at 370 with the suppressor on it, so that's a good 3 inches from the muzzle, but that doesn't lose much power by 3 inches, 3 or 4. Other than that, it is stock, if I'm not mistaken. You know, stock solenoids. Everything else in there is pretty much stock. I don't think I'm missing anything. Stock trigger. I had the FCU set. It's closed bolt. I had the rate of fire set at 30. Again, if your gun's loud, like without this on there, a lot of people just freak out. It's ridiculous, but that's the world we've come to in airsoft. So suppressors, foam-filled suppressors are really, really nice. So I have it set for 30. That's just where I'm going to leave it. I don't know what kind of a player he is. Probably semi-auto player. Most people are. Some people will just, most people just flip back and forth. Whatever they want, whatever they feel fit, they just go to. And so, I mean, 30, it's okay. But I'm sure it'll suit him. At most fields, you can get away with 30, 35 rounds a second without having any issues. But when you get up into that 40, 45, 50, that's when people start to freak out. Again, if you're running, I'd say over 35, foam filled suppressor. Totally depends on what field you're at, though. Some fields just don't care. They're just more free than other fields. So it just depends on your field, really. Just play and see how the owner reacts, how other players react. Just, you got to try it out once and see how it, once or twice, and see how it, how they react and stuff. Now, the owner does use CAA mid-caps. I sold him my CAA mid-caps. I told him to use .25s. Maybe .3s, but I've been shooting .25s out of it, and I'd say it shoots 200 feet with 2.5, so I think we're chilling there. Alright, so let's go ahead and chrono this bad boy. I have G&P high-speed magazines, high RPS mags, loaded up with .25s. The regulator that he uses is a Ninja LPR. I actually traded him 2 of my tanks. So, Ninja LPR at 110 psi on the gauge, and then I have almost about 1200 psi left in this tank, and it's an Empire tank, 48 cubic inch, and then he also has a Tippmann. I traded him both of those for a bigger tank, so he's got 48 cubic inch tanks. So both have air passes, but he's not really local to the spot, so doesn't really matter. And the hose is Valken Tactical. Let's go ahead and put it through the chrono. I will read it off. You're probably not going to be able to see it. Again, it's set for 2.5s here. We are going to get an accurate joule reading. Again, HPA does carry its energy a little bit better, with heavier BBs, that is. 345. Okay, so it's chronoing at 370 with a .2, and with the 2.5, it's chronoing at about 345. So definitely not as much FPS drop as an AEG. 338. 340, 337, 340, 339, 340, 340, 341, 342. Super, super consistent, hovering out 1.3 joules with a 2.5. So let's just go ahead and shoot it. We've already got chrono readings. Let's go ahead and shoot it without the amp, or without the suppressor. That's so consistent. This is 110-ish feet away, and I'm pointing this pine tree, like the stump of it, almost every single time. Alright, we're out of ammo. First mags. I only filled these to about 100 rounds. Of course, trigger response is instant. Also, just want to put this out there. If you're running 500 FPS with an HPA gun, don't spam your trigger, please. Even I wouldn't do that. I'll be honest. Unless somebody's cheating, like hardcore cheating, I wouldn't even do that. Even though it has the capability to trigger spam, I wouldn't. Just because you're shooting so freaking hard. I mean, just imagine somebody just spamming you with 500 FPS, even 450. Again, I do that, and I run 340, 350 with a .2. Way below the limit. But this gun definitely does shoot 200 feet. Try full auto. Pretty nice. No feeding issues. No feeding issues whatsoever. Nice performance. Really good range. I forgot to shoot it with the foam filled suppressor, so let's go ahead and just shoot it some more with the suppressor on it. Gotta turn the hop up a little bit. Oh, there we go. Woo! Shoots great. We're out. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Definitely enjoyed, you know, making this video and shooting it. I didn't quite like working on it. I spent probably about 5 hours on the gun. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, if you're running HPA and you have a die, you're triggering the other team.